Find me standing all alone, right where you left me. Oh, I did it on my own. Now I finally feel free. And it's funny how it seems to go that one you love the most is the one you shouldn't hold. Had to lose yours to see the truth. Found me when I pushed through. Lived like I needed to without you. Without you. Without you. Standing on my own, right where you left me. I did it on my own. Now I finally feel free. And it's funny how it seems to go that one you love the most is the one you shouldn't hold. Had to lose your eyes to see the truth. Found me when I pushed through. Lived like I needed to. Let go too far, fall too far, like losing my mind without you.
With one of the grand final spots filled up, it's time to find out who will challenge SANKAI tomorrow as we welcome you all back to the semifinals of the DeVicto Valorant Collegiate Series 1. We're in for one more bout before we reach the finale, but joining you on the broadcast desk is none other than Dab Femina and Dropout Candy, delivering all the action to you live on the official YouTube channel of DeVicto. We'll be commentating the last best of 3 for you guys tonight, with Team Ratata facing off against ESC EQUINE and Dropout. I hope you have room for dessert tonight, baby, because this matchup is looking real tasty.
Yeah, I love dessert. Like I ate pistachio ice cream a while ago, but I think there's gonna be a bunch of snacks here for Team Ratata and ESC EQUINE. Yes, the picks are gonna be unique here as well, with first map being Icebox. It's Icebox.
Yeah, it is.
I thought it was a sin.
No,
Okay.
no. Apparently that was map banned. Map
Oh, that
banned
was
away by
map-
Team Ratata.
Oh, that was
yeah,
map
yeah.
ban?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
To give the viewers a bit of a context, we have map bans and map picks across the board for both of these squads. Before we head into the game, we would like to give you a bit of a brief summary of how the map picks and bans actually went through. ESC EQUINE, first team, actually banned out Breeze, so we're not seeing Breeze in this best of 3 series. Team Ratata, in response to that, are going to be banning away the split map. And in response to that, though, it's ESC EQUINE taking away Bind, and Team Ratata, with the last response into the map bans, is going to be banning away the Ascent map. So the map picks are going to be it for us today. ESC EQUINE pick Icebox, Team Ratata pick Haven, and we'll be having Fracture as the deciding map. And honestly, Dropout, with how this map ban and map pick went, I feel like this could go either way, especially with how much aggressiveness coming out of Team Ratata. ESC EQUINE, though, they complement that with the style of their own that we saw in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and it's weird to say that in the head-to-head matchup, none of these maps have been picked by both sides. So Team Ratata's match against I'm looking at it again. Team Ratata against Vendetta 7. None of these maps have been picked. And against ESC EQUINE and Madness X, none of these maps have been picked. So again, this is a toss-up between both sides, and I'm honestly leaning towards Team Ratata here. They do have some early aggression, but if ESC EQUINE can play textbook, maybe we'll have a 2-1 banger here once again.
Yeah, I mean, as I've always said in the first stream, when we had our first best of three post-game discussion, Team Ratata always played that pug style into the most perfect form that I've seen in the DeVicto Valorant Collegiate Series 1, where they just come out just as explosive as can be, but that was against one of the previous teams now. Now, they'll be facing off against a very different team, which is ESC EQUINE, who have proven time and time again that they can contend against aggressive picks like these. So now, since they are going to be starting on the attacking side, with the picks that they're hovering so far into this agent select, I'm guessing that they're going to go for a little bit of a standard team comp with a double sentinel comp that will ensure that they have enough time to at least go for the fast plant, especially if they pick the Sage here. They have as much aggressiveness when they use the Jet into this matchup, but a lot of stability as well on the foothold now that you pick up the Viper and the Chamber for yourself for flank push. While on the other side though, for the members of Team Ratata, it's as puggy as it can be. Blatrix on the Raze, 6 Sense on the Jet, and if I remember correctly, 6 Sense was one of the supported players on the members of Team Ratata before. Now, he wants to be the carry, and he wants to be the star of the show.
Yeah, the start of the show will probably come out for both of these sides, but looking at it in perspective, ESC EQUINE do have the more balanced comp here. The other side, though, is really an all-in comp. You have the Raze that can control space as well as the Jet, but only problem is you don't have that leisure of getting a wall out and planting like immediately. So again, for the side of Team Ratata, your objective for the CT side, win as much rounds as possible and close it out before something happens here for the attacking side of ESC EQUINE. But ESC EQUINE do have another trick up their sleeve again because they're the only team for today that has picked up the Sage here. And looking at it, the wall is so invaluable here. Like, you could get so much out of the wall, which is otherwise brought out not by Team Ratatat. And if they could get the first plant here with the wall plant, this is gonna be so difficult for Team Ratatat here at the start of the first half.
Oh man, I mean, right out of the gate, we come off with the unorthodox playstyle coming out from Kem, who has found himself inside Nest, but 6 Sense and Blatrix is just proving our points so far. They are in for an explosive playstyle coming right out of the gates. They're not waiting to get as much rounds as they can. They're waiting to at least come out of the gate swinging. Already a double kill out from Blatrix, a 3v1, which Fritz all alone has the ghost, but it's looking pretty dire at this point. Triple kill from the Raze starts out really strong for Team Ratata, staying true to their name, just ratatying all the way through to the attack.
I'm more surprised that the accuracy didn't fall off in the rope. Now, Blatrix was on the rope the entire time. He had the ghost out and he magically found the head. Good job to them, 1-0. They have the Spectres in hand as well as the Marshal coming in from Afiku. Might be planning out to go for that operator play a little bit later in the late stages of this first half, but for the side of ESC EQUINE, just destroy the eco, full classics all around. No one's gonna buy up as well. Playing with utility in the meantime, and someone's gonna die out, and Lousy! He comes out strong here with the classic kill. And Denial as well with the Headhunter.
That's 2 quick frags over to the Spectre players of Team Ratata, and already, we always talked about them trying to destroy the eco. In the first 5 seconds of this round, they already successfully did that objective. They even have a chance to at least take this round altogether. 6 Sense and Cold, though, are able to slap them back into reality with the kills over, especially with the Spectres that they have in hand. A double kill out from Kem. Right after he kills Lousy and Fritz, all up to Xenu, who forced out the 1v1. They lost that round, but they already secured the objective that they want to.
But that was really cutting it close there for the side of Team Ratata. Regardless of that 3v5 situation, they still managed to win the round, but next round is not gonna be going well for them. They have to play with the weapons that they have, and their objective now has been reversed. It's not to win this bonus round. Yes, it's gonna be a good good luxury there, but their objective here is to just destroy the economy ESC EQUINE here in the gun round.
See, when they invest a lot of the money into this round now, and if they lose this, then they lose so much of the money of server. On the other side of the map, they have already picked up 3 kills towards the rightful members of the attack, picked up by last 2 players though, as Lousy and Denial pick up the kills that they needed for them to be able to equalize the numbers against Kem and Afiku. But what the hell are these shots out inside B Green? So far, Team Ratata dealt as much damage as they could, but Lousy is able to bring everything back up to an advantageous footing. Triple kill out from the stage, but Afiku finds his evil twin and he even picks up the triple for himself. He has the opportunity to resurrect either one of his teammates, but they're so far away from each other. It all falls into Lousy's actions this time around, as Afiku has the health disadvantage, but he has the best gun in this sort of situation.
Yeah, and 1v1, they might be seeing each other here over the mid side. Timing again on top of heaven, needs to check out the rafters here. Lousy going about and around about. The spike is planted for Lousy, so now he has to look everywhere. Gun out, peek out, and that is Lousy getting there. That was so close though. 21 HP for Lousy. But again, I did say that Team Ratata's chances of winning that round were rather slim, and destroying the economy was another way to win that round. So they did lose, but they have a lot of weapons to work with for this next round.
Tactical loss. Now that they at least cut it a bit more closely. Yeah, intended, actually. An intended loss. Maybe, but they also had a bit of a chance to win that, especially with the eco not working in the favor of the attack now. They lost the loss bonus, but they still have the rifles in their hands this time around. It's not Sixth Sense who has the operator, it's Kem. And Kem doesn't have the mobility that Jet has to offer to the table. If he whiffs out the shot onto a few of these members inside the green, then it's not going to make sense whatsoever. But he's all the way over to the A side. He has to retake with the operator in hand. And because of an overwhelming amount of aggression over to the yellow side, it's going to be easy for them to pick off over to the yellow side area. But 2 kills have been picked off for the members of the defense. Zeno, though, is able to trade it off at 2 for 1.
For 1 situation, 4v3 here. Kuro does have the angle here for this yellow spot, but so lit up, so much HP down, and Kuro, he still gets 2 kills regardless though of the situation. But Afiku, he goes in for the flank, all left to Zeno, but the thing is, there is a person right behind him, cold in his veins as he gets the last kill. They get the defuse, and they get the 3rd round on the board. That's gonna be an eco round for the side of ESC EQUINE for this next round.
It's important that the Chamber actually places himself in a more safe position now that he has given up yellow. With yellow control, the attacking team has converted that to the secure of the objective. But for the defense, now that they gave up yellow, it's also important that they keep a lot of their members alive, simply because they have a good amount of firepower heading into that retake. Afiku was, I believe, one of the instrumental members of how that retake went. That his firepower and how he's been fragging out on towards the yellow side was super crucial for the members of Team Ratata. He even pulled out this ultimate, and the tour de force could mean so much, as it's 4 people trying to at least attempt to go at it into this A side. But now that I look at it, nobody has the best firepower for the attack.
Not a lot as well. Blatrix gets baited out. And now that's going to be a good cross here over the middle area, not letting anyone pass through. Now is Lousy trying to look for 1 single headshot though. Does see the likeliness of Afiku, does have the tour de force, so maybe for the next round they're planning to go for an operator buy. Another kill though. Lousy gets the kill instead, and for some reason it's still a 3v4. Might turn it down to 2v3. Sage still has the revive though, but gets to back on for now. Cold. Oh, that's a bait and a half as well. And even though he rushed out in mid, he now has a rifle to work with. So now Kuro walking up in mid, gets the headshot. Tried through and tested. Might go for the watch here. And Cold once again cleaning things up, but a bit costly for the side of Team Ratata. 4-1. And again, for ESC EQUINE, they did their job, and now it's back to the gun round here.
The first half has been a story of trying to break everybody's bank at this point. They it's ever since the start of this icebox map, everybody has been trying to at least destroy everybody's eco management. And with how the gun round has went for the members of the defense there, they were forced to make a bit more expensive now that the pistols actually dealt a lot of the damage needed in order for them to buy a lot of the rifles back in this round. Kem though is gonna start that first blood over to Denial, just denying him of any value into this round right now. Operator in hand, but a fake dash as well from Kuro as the Tailwind is gonna lose a lot of the time. The ultimate out as well to at least bring back Denial from the dead, but a 4 versus 5 nonetheless, as Bladetrix is looking over the angle and knows that Kuro is waiting in arms, trying to at least find an opportunity to put a knife back to the head of these defenses side.
Yeah, walking up in maze here. Denial. Still making things work. No, Bladetrix again with the headshot, and it's looking out to be a disaster once again for ESC EQUINE. That's already one guy out with a Hunter's Fury. And now it's all left to Lousy. Gets the revive out, but at what cost? To get the boom bot. Bladetrix with a 4K. And it's looking really good for Team Ratata here in the first half. It's a flawless as well, and they have a lot of economy now.
An impeccable hold solo alone from this Raze. I mean, you don't need RGB to have that best performance moving forward, as demonstrated by Bladetrix, and now he handled his Phantom there as he isolated these 4 players trying to push on towards that ace site there. And how well he's played for himself, he is ready with that showstopper once he tries to at least go for a multi-kill, possibly in the retake scenario for the members of Team Ratata. But in response to that, it's the ultimate online from Denial, but it is going to be the showstopper out inside the green, but nobody is going to be on the receiving end of that. While on the other side, no, Denial tries to whiff the shot over to 6 Cents, who is behind enemy lines this time around. Kuro is trying to have the Wild West duel with the Sheriff online towards that garage area, but it's Denial in Fritz who takes advantage of the garage shield that he has. A double kill for the members of the attack so far. It's a 2 versus 4. Still making a lot of work because of these lower guns, but 6 Cents and Cold, they have the best tools in this scenario, as they have the rifles for them to be able to win out these duels.
Yeah, but now Xenu unfortunately halves the op now, pushing up in that position, and too much heads to be looked at. 6 Cents all by his lone, so it's gonna be a B push here. But I think they know that the Jet is there. That's gonna be a thrifty round for the side of ESC EQUINE. It's a good shot as well as getting all the weapons. Well, we might as well, you know.
For free.
For free.
For free.
It's a freebie.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? I mean, it actually has a cost. It costs them to kill them. It costs a bullet to actually kill them, you mean? It's not for free. They definitely
war efforts. True.
Oh my god.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, at this point, we're numb to the idea of like getting what we want, whatever the cost. Especially that we're playing in a game like Valorant. And everybody, especially in the hands of the attack, they're using the best of their abilities to at least gain the advantage. Especially that they had only Sheriffs in hand. They even use out that ultimate out from the Hunter's Fury, but it's Denial who takes that first blood. Taken with the Operator that he picked up now in this round. It's a 4v5 just because of that first blood. And because they took off the Sova, it's a bit difficult for them to at least know how the attack is gonna go.
Yeah, and again, Denial. He won the first time, but now he backs off. Kurodo pushing in middle area. Does not have any semblance of that defense, but 6 Cents! He holds down sight by his lonesome. Only leaves Kuro out. Can he get the peek out though over to Cold Timing again? Will he look out? So 1v1 now. Jet v Jet. Bomb is stuck out in no man's land. Gets the dash out, so now they know where he is. Gonna be the cloud burst out. Where does he go? Where does he look? All up to elbow. Might he rotate all the way to belt? Ooh, that's the timing. And 6 Cents doesn't get the kill, and Kuro paints the world black here. That's a clutch round for the side of ESC EQUINE.
It's a little scary, to say the least. It was starting off so well, especially for the attack, and they held that momentum true to the finish. But it was scrappy by the end of it. I mean, the means for them to be able to get that clutch was definitely all the back of his luck that they were so separated from each other. Able to isolate them into that 1v1 all fell into Kuro's perfect timing to re-peek over towards that belt side. 5-3 now. Members of the attack, ESC, when they have a bit of the momentum on their way, they still have to fight up against the lead, and it's an aggressive take over to that B site. Converting a mid control over towards that B site is impeccable so far. 2 quick kills for the attack as they have secured over this B site in yellow.
Now, spike down. Fritz, not being the progenitor of that Titan blood, will get killed out by Kem. Does have the owl drone. It's gonna get revealed out. Cloudburst as well to cover up more space. Now Cold's pushing up in that pipes position. But the previous pipes position, not anymore because it's been closed off now. But they're gonna be trying to push out of this yellow position now. Gonna try to defuse, but Kuro, he gets the shot down, and it's a denial for the rest of the side of ESC EQUINE. They get another round out, and Team Ratata, they had a huge lead at the start of this first half, and now it's gone by the wayside.
Yeah, I mean, they only need one more before they could tie things up against the defense so far. I mean, Team Ratata have been losing a bit of steam, especially with how, I'd say, creative. A lot of options now for the attack as a ESC EQUINE. They fell back onto taking control of that mid area with just a singular wall. Nobody to stop them trying to convert it into the orange control. It's enough to at least secure the round and the objective and the kills that they needed, but they're gonna convert it into the second time, double dipping towards that mid side as Lousy was able to catch Cold, who was cold in his tracks this time around. Africa, though, able to trade out 1-for-1 around the yellow side, and with a snap of a finger, he is not away from danger. Traded off immediately, 2 versus 2, while the yellow side hasn't been confirmed. It has been destroyed by Blatrix, who finds himself in a 2v1 scenario against Lousy, all alone for the attack as he finds out what he wants and converts it to the 4th kill, the clutch for the Sage, and the win for ESC EQUINE.
Lousy, he's not lazy. He's popping off. He stood up. He stood up in his chair. He has a standing. He's standing up. That's his setup. It's a standing desk. And he had a lot. He had a bunch of weights. He started working out after that clutch. That was insane.
Damn, I mean, for the first half of this first half, if lacker for a better term, he had like one muscular arm, but then he suddenly actually comes out with the best character development, actually showing us that he has 2 muscular arms into this round. Kura, though, trying to take advantage of Kem, who's stuck between a rock and a hard place, but gets destroyed by Lousy and Kuro, who is trying to overwhelm him while he's trapped around the jail side. 4 versus 5, and because of that, it's an easier take for the attack as they're looking over and lurking around over towards this ace side, with 6 Sense only having a Blade Storm, but it's not connecting the shots. It's the Phantom that destroys him while he tries to go for a push over towards that side in a 3v5 as they retake over and try to at least stop the members of ESC EQUINE on their tracks.
Yeah, that's so hard now for the side of Team Ratata. They had the advantage, but now Chamber has cleared out the entirety of this B site, and they're holding down 3 members of Team Ratata here. So a quick rotate out would mean that Team Ratata are left down to their wayside as Denial gets 1 more kill on the board, gets the headshot though coming in from Cold. Now it's all left to Raze, only does have a Phantom, but he's gonna get killed out from Denial from behind. 6-5, and ESC EQUINE, after this first half, they finally have the lead here.
Slowing down the tempo this time around for ESC EQUINE, surgically taking off one of these members one by one for Team Ratata. We're not able to find an answer in a bit of these duels, and the take over to that A site, it was as slow as it can be, but that slowed tempo allowed them to take the fights a bit more calculated. There wasn't any trade out from the defense because of the way Icebox is structured. Everybody needed to be a bit more separate. Because of that slow tempo, they're not able to recognize that it was a huge push over to that A site, but it wasn't as fast as they usually did. This time around, though, they're going to try to at least split up a few of their members around the mid side, as well as Chamber, Denial, just praying to dear God that somebody is gonna push on forward to the B green side.
Pushing up in pipes though, 6 cents. Does have an idea that there's one person waiting here, but timing once again! Finally gets a kill, but the trade it off but with Denial here. No more Chamber for the defending side, but 6 cents? That's the mid side secured. Bleatrix getting another kill, killing out Kuro. And Zeno is spying on over to the backside. Doesn't get killed though, but he finally gets the trade out. 2v3, showstopper. How many can he get? He doesn't. He gets on the bomb plant, but he doesn't get Zeno. That's a 1v2 here. All Viper by his lonesome. The screen has been used already, but the spike hasn't been planted yet.
No, it hasn't been. They have a good chance of doing so now, especially with 2 players still alive for ESC EQUINE. Left all alone to Cold in this 1v2. Has taken control over to the screen side, but he hasn't fully converted. He put out the footstep, and Zeno has heard about it. Puts out that shock dart, but it doesn't really tag onto this Viper. And doesn't deal the damage that he needs to. Doesn't take off the armor, but he doesn't really need to do that. He has the Vandal out from Denial, who definitely has his back. 5-7, ESC EQUINE, they have, I wouldn't say the best of starts, but the recovery is what matters, and they have the lead because of it.
The lead again, but it resets though. And for ESC EQUINE's side, maybe it's to hold off the offense now, because it is, again, a more offensive-sided comp for the side of Team Ratata. But if we saw it earlier, again, the Sage is more or less like a secondary duelist here. But we're gonna see how both of these teams would adjust to their new form here. As again, another A site is gonna be underway here for this pistol round.
Now it's a bit of a different play style if we see Lousy on the defense, because he doesn't really have like anything to at least stop unless he's at the perfect time and place to stop them in their tracks. But it's Kuro, but gets traded out, especially with the shock dart perfectly placed in time. Double kill out from Kem, but doubles. Everybody trading everybody out, especially with the amount of damage that Cold has put out in this contest. A 2 versus 2 now, as Blatrix has already put the spike down on towards that A site, but a dink out from the Classic, and the kill was enough from Lousy in a 2v1 with the right click perfectly placed around the Mei side, destroying Kem and denying them winning this round on the attack. It's 5-8. The members of Team Ratata are thwarted.
And again, just a little bit of information here from Lousy comes a huge way, because of the Sage being one of the agents that does take a lot of ultimate points. Giving it to her early would give them a lot of advantage here, knowing that the Spectre can kill a lot of people here. She can instantly get that revive, and when that revive comes out, they can certainly shift the tides of battle here to a bad one to a rather favorable one at that.
If you look at the money and the buy out from the attack, it's a forced buy for the core of Team Ratata. But I mean, one of them who didn't buy the Spectre is gonna get punished. At least he's able to get the rifle in the next round, Afiku. Because of this, they're able to have the advantage and the opportunity to go for the lurk. But Blatrix just says Kobe, and even finds the Viper in screens. It's a 4 versus 4 retake for the members of ESC EQUINE, but the wall is gonna come down, and 6 cents is gonna fall by Xenu, who was coming out inside of Raptors into a 3v4 scenario. Triple kill from Xenu, but traded out immediately by the Sheriff and the Spectre. It all falls down to the 2 versus 1 as Kuro left alone to try and go for this, as Cold just runs and guns, but it's the right click from Kuro that saves it for the defense. Although it was still a lot of the guns out for the defensive side, they have been dealt as much economic damage as possible. Good job for Team Ratata.
Yeah, but that was their force. So now they're gonna have to eco. So what does the defending side do? Buy up even more. You have Afiku holding up the rifle since he was the one who saved, as well as Blatrix, who did get a bunch of kills, but now they're in a weird predicament where they could either save or Force and 40 ESC EQUINE, they've decided to save instead.
Except for Afiko, who believes he's the hero for this round, Dropout. I mean, I respect some team players actually letting one of their star players to go for the hero buy, but in this sort of situation where he's not close towards the tour de force anyway, and he hasn't been hitting a lot of the shots from the headhunter, so this force buy could be something that could bite them in the ass later. But it's Xenu who demands their attention, shock dart in hand, and even destroys one of the entry fraggers out from the attack. But Team Ratata would fall back on Blatrix, who is still one of the entry fraggers as well, but because they have lower guns, they are forced to at least take a bit of their sweet time to rally a bunch of their options.
Yeah, rally on up, but Denial's already in the backside. The trademark's already there, and because of how the trademark works, it doesn't see him. So if they rotate over to B side, they're in a world of hurt, but for now though, that's 3 people over to A side, all left to Viper to defend by herself, but doesn't get the kill for now. The blast pack's gonna be used. Thing is though, Fritz gets 1 kill, that's huge. Might go for another one here, that is instantly on the favor for the side of ESC EQUINE. The life bars though are not in their favor, but what does it matter if you have the man advantage? The kill from behind is certainly throws Denial. He went on a bit of a journey there, that Femina, and well, he certainly finished his trek. He found out the answer to life. That was the headhunter on the face of Afiku. 10-5 and ESC EQUINE, they're on double digits.
It wasn't a headhunter too, it was a sheriff from the chamber in that previous round. I mean, if you remember chapter 1, it was to push outside of Big Green for Denial there. Chapter 2, he finds that trademark, with it leading to chapter 3. Just wait for the perfect time before you strike behind the hearts of Team Ratata. And as they were aggressing over to that A site, which is chapter 4, chapter 5, and the finale ended with him rewarded with the 1-tap over to Afiku. The last hero buy for the members of Team Ratata. Now, this time, everybody has equal amounts of guns, except for Fritz, who you could actually say that is an important part of this round, especially now that the Viper Spit is online. Kuro, though, is able to find that first blood over to Cold, and this alone could be enough to stop them as they try to rotate over to maybe rally again a bit of their options moving forward.
Again, the Viper's out though. Now they don't have a wall to screen themselves off, and they've all sitting there as to what to do here for this sort of situation. They haven't thought about bringing a secondary controller. I mean, double duel is still works, but again, with Denial being on the backside, that's gonna be a denial there as Afiku downs him out. It's 4v4 just like that. Showstopper has been wasted, but he still gets 1 more kill for his troubles here. Blatrix pushing on over. Might go for 1 more, but Xeno gets the kill from behind. But they still need to know where Blatrix is, because it's gonna be a pain in the rear if they don't take the raise out. But he gets flanked out from behind, and Fritz and Kuro, that's gonna be 2 kills of their own. Might go for 1 more, but oh, that is amazing. No kill, and Fritz, he plays that to a T. And now they get another round on the board.
He Matrix dodged it. Or if you're a fighting game fan, he sidestepped it too. Fritz. Well, I gotta tell you though, I wanna ask about why Denial decided to station himself or anchor around Yellow when he doesn't have his second TP to escape.
Did he not?
He didn't. I was about to like cut you off there, but you were making a really valid point about how they were contesting the B site, but one of the starting points of how it was easy for them to do that was because they gave up Yellow so quickly. They never gotten a trade, as he never got an escape route to begin with. That in turn gave them a very easy exit over towards that side, but it's 1-for-1 trade very early into this round as both sides, they want to go at it. Gung-ho.
I mean, looking at Team Ratata, this is one of their last buy rounds here because looking at the economy, it is not looking too great. And Kuro,
Enemy remaining.
he makes things
Spike
work for the
down
side of
A.
ESC EQUINE, all left to Kem. The bomb is stuck in the middle of everything here, but he still gets one kill regardless. Slow orb as well as a toxin bite as Lousy stands up and punches him in the face. It's match point for ESC EQUINE.
Oh, damn, I could have a black eye from that.
That
From
is
that
true.
type of aggression. At this point, ESC EQUINE, they didn't even need to overly aggress. They are doing a really good job of fortifying a lot of key entrances around this A site, and of course it was a bit too close, especially in that previous round, but with something, I would say a seemingly impossible defense to penetrate through. At this point in time, Team Ratata, they have to at least go back to the drawing board as we somehow almost head into second map this time, but everything falls into how they could entry. They need to make use of this double duelist comp correctly in order for them to at least take control of this game. But a really good use of a few of these ultimates. Viper Spit to secure space, but Xeno has a perfect Hunter's Fury. Destroys one of these players up, but it's Kuro who catches two of these players off. 1 versus 4. Afiku, who was one of the most valuable players for Team Ratata, has fallen. All of the hope in this first game lost as ESC EQUINE take Icebox map.
That was map number 1 and a 12-round winning streak for the side of ESC EQUINE. Team Ratata had no shot of getting them at all, and especially on the second half. But at the end of the day, ESC EQUINE, they dominate that round. Although it looked like Team Ratata was gonna win it in the first half as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was as close in the first half as they would have liked, especially with how Team Ratata always fall back into coming out of sight and trying to go for those aggressive pushes time and time again. But it's been proven for professional play for the circuit, as well as now in the DeVicto Valorant Collegiate Series 1, that strats like these held out by double duelist comps don't actually work. It always falls back into how well you could use your util, but duelists themselves don't have the best util to stall a bit of time that they want to, or if they want to pick off these players correctly, or maybe at least buy a bit of time before the over rotation comes out. And let's be real, the double duelist comp, it has more exploits than it can advantages. Unless you actually win out a lot of duels, which they weren't, it's not going to be the best of rewards coming out for you, especially if you're Team Ratata in that first map. And the Icebox map was super unfortunate, but it was a bit expected now that ESC EQUINE, they won on their map pick, and it was a break of a pattern because if you remember, Dropout Candy, we've been having a lot of wins over enemy map picks.
Well, again, map picks, they do matter, but you know, at the end of the day, you shoot head,
No, they don't.
kill them, you know. You just shoot head, it's not that hard, right?
Sure.
But something's come up, Dad. If you look in our Discord, so we're gonna be ending the stream.
Oh.
But tomorrow, we're gonna see you in the grand finals. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll be here for it, Dad Femina.
Yeah. All right. Well, if we're going to end the stream now, then I guess that is going to be it. Thank you so much for joining us in the DeVicto Valorant Collegiate Series 1. The semifinals has been a blast so far for these guys, and I hope you guys also enjoyed it nonetheless. This has been the DeVicto Valorant Collegiate Series 1. My name is Dan Femina, and join me, Dropout Candy, all brought to you by Madness Esports or Madness Events, as well as our partners and our sponsors, Fair Play and Epulse. We'll be seeing tomorrow for the grand finals, and we'll be seeing you live here on the official YouTube channel of DeVicto. Goodbye, everybody.